Tony, have you seen my copy at 9? I can't find it anywhere.
I mean, no, I haven't seen it, but like, where's the last place you remember putting it?
Huh. Where did I last put it?
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for my copy of 9 for my review this week. You haven't seen it, right?
Oh, like the puppet movie, like the Sackboy.
Yeah, like the puppet movie.
Oh, the one with the robot and the Sackboys.
Yeah, the puppet movie. Is that a Django Unchained coloring page?
Yeah, Sackboy. Sackboy?
Yeah. The puppet movie. The puppet movie. No. Are we for real right now? We are not doing this right now. What? John, what do you think?
I don't know what you mean.
Dog. Did you
Did I what?
eat my 2009 Blu-ray copy of 9?
I might have perhaps slightly, just a little, perchance have done something to it.
Dog.
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 Dog. Like Sackboy.
Hello, I'm Max Weber. You're watching Goofing Off, and this is Weber's Horror Corner, and we are taking a dive into the animated world of horror. Do you like post-apocalypse settings, creative mechanical and environmental design, a good scare and sprinkle of horrific imagery, perhaps even Little Big Planet? Well, this segment's topic is just for you, as I'll be covering the animated horror film 9. Released in, I kid you not, 2009, in the 9th month, on the 9th day of the year, the film was an expanded feature-length adaptation of a short made by the film's director, Shane Acker. This film is in fact his only directorial outing. The film adaptation tells essentially the same plot, but expanded to include more characters, monsters, and lore. The designs of the skeletal cat robot and 9 are essentially identical to the short, although the doll designed to be 4 was switched to 5 for the film. The movie released to, well, horrible financial showings. On a $30 million budget, the film made only about $50 million worldwide, which is rough. The film, in all honesty, was a hard sell at the time. Animation intended for older audiences was simply not an appealing venture at the time. To this day, the perception around adult animated films is still, well, real dicey. 9 was rated PG-13 sheerly for violence and horror, which parents likely saw as a major red flag, which cut off a large part of the market for movies as a whole. 9 was in fact the last animated PG-13 film released in the US, all the way up to the release of Isle of Dogs in 2018. It also did not help that the smash hit Coraline came out the same year and was even released by the same studio, Focus Features. 9 is a sleeper hit, however, and I feel that if released today, would have received the attention it deserved. It's crazy to think it was even made at the time, considering its rating and medium. I, however, strongly recommend this movie, but why? Well, let's actually get into it and you'll find out. Let's dive into 9. Nine tells the story of a sentient ragdoll who awakens in a fallen world. No life of any kind remains except himself and 8 other dolls. These dolls are all distinct with their own personalities and quirks. Inorganic life does exist in opposition to them, however, in the sole presence of a skeletal robotic cat who ends up kidnapping 2, the doll who 9 meets first in the wasteland. This situation seems bleak, but it can get worse. as 9 accidentally reanimates the machine that caused the end of the world. The machine seeks to eradicate all life and begins to hunt down the dolls and do what to them? Well, it does this. This low-key traumatized me as a kid, but it's low-key super rad now that I'm a fully developed, sensible adult. The remaining dolls must team up and defeat the mechanical monster to free the souls of their fallen friends. This is quite a feat, as they are very, very small, and as IMDb says, are about the size of a coffee cup canonically, which is a pretty fair way of measuring things. Tony, for example, is about, I'd say 4 coffee cups tall, and Nikolai, maybe 2.5 and 1/8 or so. Why are the dolls alive? What is their purpose? And how many coffee cups tall am I? These questions and more will all be answered by watching 9, as I won't be spoiling too much here. I will, however, be diving into the aspects of 9 that make it the solid package that it is. So, we might as well take it over to writing. Nine, as the title suggests, features 9 distinct dolls that comprise the cast. 2 are twins, but like, you know what I mean. 2 Tonys? How troublesome.
We ain't 2 Tonys. I'm Tone, and that's Balone. Yeah.
Okay. So, where's Tony then?
We're just here to have fun. We're just getting a little silly. We're just here to goof off.
Well, as King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard once said, Nonagon Infinity opens the door. I low-key don't know where he went. As such, and due to the rather short runtime, not every doll gets a ton of dialogue. However, what is presented is solid. In a very short amount of time, you get to know these characters, what they believe in, and what makes each one special. There is no filler character. Each doll serves a purpose in the cast. My personal favorites are 6 and 3 and 4. But what it really comes down to is the fact that the writing is solid, not super. The lead 9 is a pretty run-of-the-mill, unexpected leader type, and while 7, for example, may seem like the typical action girl trope, there is more to her character. While 9's just the usual lead. There is also the dumb brute trope, religious leader, and so on. An in-universe reason for this is present though, so I cannot fault the film too much for this. Overall, the characters are likable, or at least able to be sympathized with, which is what allows the horror in this movie to work. 9 is an action-packed movie, and once you get to know the cast, they then start to be picked off in the prior mentioned horrific way. And honestly, you never know who's gonna make it. There are some great tense action set pieces in 9 which are complemented well by the horror elements. The horror is mostly conveyed through the setting and designs of the monsters, but nevertheless, they still fit some good scares in there. Like, these designs are gnarly, huge props to the production design and art team. For example, the way the twins' cataloging works is really creative. You'll know it when you see it. The writing of the characters is solid and serves the story well, but don't expect anything mind-blowing. Still though, there is a reason, so there's always that. Well, with that, let's jump into the next segment, a rather short one if you would. Gorilla's G-Bites are a series of short skits featuring the animated band. Released during phases 1 and 2 of the band's career, they are simple little shorts that have some decent humor, animation, and are a must-watch for any fan of the band or someone with 12 minutes to spare. The animation in 9 has its ups and downs. The progression of rendering technology has made this film's look age a bit. It most certainly looks like a film from the 2000s. The people look a little rough, and some of the texture work is flat on the dolls. This, however, does not detract from the expressive rigging work done by the animators for both the dolls and creatures. The twins in particular have a very strong animated presence in their scenes. The movie's strong visual style does a lot of heavy lifting, which makes the prior mentioned flaws rather petty, especially considering the age of the movie. It's not too terribly fair to judge it this way. And in terms of horror, the expressive animation really does wonders. The whole face-sucking thing is a prime-time example of this. Well, I might as well show off some of this animation work and let it speak for itself. These are my top 3 scenes.
Sometimes fear is the appropriate response.
The soundtrack of 9 is competent, but nothing to write home about. The composition done by Deborah Lurie and Danny Elfman, known for working heavily with Tim Burton, fits the setting and tone of the movie, but it mostly serves as droning background tracks for many of the scenes. The soundtrack's not bad, rather, it's just getting the job done. There is still, however, some solid stuff to be found. My top 3 picks for killer soundtracks are as follows. Nine is a solid film with exceptional production design, released in the wrong decade. An intriguing world, likable characters, and some decent horror, 9 is a film I can confidently recommend. Even to those who may not be super down with horror, this is a lighter outing, so I would give it a shot. While the director may not have gone on to release any following films, this outing is still memorable and holds its place in the realm of animated horror. I'm Max Weber. We just took a trip into the animated world of horror here on Weber's Horror Corner, and you're watching Goofing Off.